Hi everyone, welcome back to Real Talk with Joy Chisom, and yes, I remain your host Joy Chisom. So tonight we're going to be talking about why she can't submit. But before we do that, if you're yet to go listen and watch our previous episodes, do well to do so because you're going to be learning a lot. Yes, I mean a lot. So for tonight, we're going to be talking about why she can't submit. If you're yet to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification, and yes, if this video blesses you, do well to give us a like and drop a comment. Tonight we're going to be talking about why she can't submit. But before we talk about tonight's episode, we've had different episodes that we talked about. If you're yet to go see them, do well to watch our previous episodes where you get to learn a lot of things. So for tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about why she can't submit. Welcome back to Why She Can't Submit. Before we go into tonight's episode, I'm going to be reading a passage of the Bible in Colossians chapter 3 and verse 18 and 19, and it says, "Wives, submit yourselves to your husbands as is fitting in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them." So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the reason why she can't submit is you are not loving her right. Now wait, before you go all up and say how, it's the fact that a lot of times when we are in a relationship, we most times want to conform the new relationship we find ourselves with the previous relationships we've had, in the sense that as a man, you begin to love your new partner or love your partner the way you feel, oh, this is the right way to do it because yes, it's in the relationship, so these are the things that are needed in the relationship. And you fail to understand the person that you are dating, the person that you are with, so you can be able to love them from their own love languages. If you are in a relationship and you see that it's difficult for your partner to submit to you, your lady, then check how you're loving her, because a lady would not find it difficult to submit to you if you're loving her right. For every lady, how the man loves her is very important because it shows her if this man wants a long-term thing with her or this man is just joking around with her. For ladies, the consistency in how you show them love is very, very important, because when you are not consistent, it makes them to doubt and assume that this thing is not real. This guy will just say something today and another day is something else. So how are you loving your partner? One thing you should look out for when she is unable to submit to you is how well do you love her. Once you love your partner right from their love language, then you're able to conquer her world, you're able to conquer her heart. And that's the most important thing, because once you conquer a lady's heart, she will go all the way for you. You'll not even find it difficult for her to submit to you, to listen to you, and to obey you. So how you show her the acts of service, if that's her love language, words of affirmation, gifts, quality time, whatever you know it's her love language, try to find it out. Do not just stay and say, oh, I will love her, I love you, I love you. Find out what her love language, what are those things that you do. Check how she reacts to when you give her quality time. Is the percentage of her reaction higher than when you give her words of affirmation, or when you buy her gifts, or when you do acts of service? Check it. That's the only way. You have to put your eye down. That's the only way you'll be able to affirm that, okay, this is her love language, so I should keep up with this. Because once you love her right, the Bible says, husbands, love your wives. Do not be harsh. The submission goes to the lady and the loving goes to the man, because God knows that once a man is able to love his wife right, then he's gotten her. Because for women, our emotions has to be appealed. It has to be conquered. If you conquer a lady's her emotions, you're able to conquer her world. And when you conquer her world, then you've gotten her. Why she can't submit, one point you should note is because you are not loving her right. Find out her love language and be consistent with it. Do not be like this today, tomorrow you're not like that. It's going to be confusing her, and to make her want to look outside, to look for someone that is able to be consistent, that is conscious enough to want to be consistent. Now, I'm not saying you cannot have a busy schedule. No. You can go to work, do your business, whatever you're doing, but it should not stop you from putting her as a priority as well, because once she's a priority to you, then you will always want to be consistent with how you react, how you act towards her. And the second point is past experiences. Now listen before you want to jump off. Past experiences in the sense that this is what I wrote down. I said previous negative experiences such as controlling or abusive relationships can make a person weary of submitting or giving up their autonomy in a new relationship. If your lady has been or had been in a past relationship that was abusive, that the man was controlling, it's going to take a lot. I know. First of all, the work has to be done by her because she has to heal from her own side. But it's going to take a lot for her to give up that pattern of life that she has been used to. What do I mean? When a lady used to be in a relationship that is oppressive, controlling, abusive, and everything, that the man just puts her head down, and she comes out and heals, and she heals with, I'm a strong woman. At that point, she doesn't see any man as important anymore. She doesn't see that she should submit to a man, because she just feels that for this man, this particular person that I was with before, to do this to me, then I think every man is like that. And I don't blame anybody that feels that way, because you've never been hurt, so you cannot judge them. You don't know what they went through when they were with that person. So past experiences, even the environment they grew up in, the kind of persons they saw when they were growing up, the people that they were seeing as couples and seeing how they live their life, those are things that would cause them not to be able to submit. So for you to be able to find that kind of lady and then make her to submit to you, you have to love her right. That's why I said that's why the first thing I mentioned was loving her right, because you have to be very, very patient with such a person, because without the patience, then she feel like, so this person is rushing me like this one, also just will force me. That means he's just like the other person, and she'll just write you off, and before you know, the relationship might not work. So before you judge her for not being submissive, or shout on her, or say this lady they not train her well. No. Some people, they train them well, but the persons they met along the way while they were growing up or while they were doing life just destroyed everything. And you can't blame them, because see, this thing of it called heart, love, it's something very, 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 very important. And if you do not look at it very well, if you fall into the wrong one, it can break you. This is why some people commit suicide, which is not really, really right. If you feel that you're going towards that lane, I think you should just seek help, seek therapy or something. So when your lady finds it difficult to submit to you, check her past experiences, ask her questions. Were you in a bad relationship? Did you have an abusive boyfriend before now, or something? And then love her calmly. So this kind of person, you have to love them with kindness, with care. You know how you pamper a newborn baby? You don't want the baby to fall, you don't want the wrong person to carry the baby and all of that. That's how you pamper such a person, because their heart has to be healed. Yes, they have healed their hearts by themselves, by deciding to be a strong lady. I am independent, I don't want any man around me. No, there's always a root. Whenever a lady says such a thing, there's always a root to such proclamations. So you have to love her calmly, understand her, understand where she's coming from. Do not judge her and say, you're bigger than this, get over all of this. No, there's nothing like get over all of this, because it has happened. Her coping mechanism is not the same thing. You weren't there before now when it happened. Even when it had happened and she was trying to heal, you were not there probably. So you have to understand where she was coming from to be able to put her where you want her to be. So bad past experiences can cause a lady to find it difficult to submit. And the last for tonight's episode, because we're going to be doing a part 2. But before we go into the last point, are you yet to subscribe to this channel? If you're yet to do so, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification, drop in the comments if you're getting blessed already. And yes, the last point is communication and negotiation. I put them together because communication is like a dialogue between two persons. Yes. So in every relationship, if a lady is finding it difficult to submit, it's because probably she feels that her opinion is not valued. For a lady, it is very important to us that you see us and what we say as important and value it. It's a different thing when we say things and then later on you act on it, than when we say things and you act like you did not even hear it at all, and then some other person says that kind of thing to you, and then you now come and say, this thing. But I was telling you the other time we were talking, I mentioned all of these things you're saying. You did not even act like this. It wasn't like I was saying anything very important to you. A lady always wants her voice to be heard, because I don't know whether that's how God made it. We always just want to have something to say. It's not our fault. So when you bring things to the table and your lady is beginning to talk and you just act like, this is not what I want to hear. This is not, sometimes when we bring matters to people, we have already what we want to hear. And when they don't tell us those things, we just feel like, oh, this thing they're saying is not important. No. When a lady feels that she's not being heard, her words are not respected, she would not even be moved to invest her time or commit in that relationship. and then finding it difficult to submit to you at the end. So how do you react? How do you take the words of your partner? Are they important to you? Is she the first person you want to call when something is coming up? Is she the first person you're telling her, oh babe, this is what is happening now, what do you think I should do? Do you take her advice and act on it, than taking her advice and just say, okay, let's just be among, let me look for other people, let me ask other people? There's nothing wrong with asking other people to get clarifications and get other perspective, but there's a way you can do that. Some people don't say, no, Alan, I've heard you, I'll still ask Mr. Kenneth what he thinks, I'll still ask Ogechi what she thinks. Haba, that means all the things she said to you is not important, but there's a way you can communicate. Say, okay, babe, I think we know someone that is also good with this line, and I think we should also ask him or ask her. At that point, she'll feel that, okay, you need an added knowledge on what she has already said. So communication is very important in a healthy relationship. For you to be able to find your lady to submit, you have to listen to what she has to offer, take it, and then act on it. Do not stop at taking it. Always move to the next step of acting on it. See, every lady, like I used to say, every lady wants her man to see her as important. There's nothing wrong with your siblings or your mom or anything. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing at all. But when you're deciding to do life with somebody, she's the only person that you always have. Oh, hey, I don't know whether you please understand this thing that I used to say. She's the only person you will have. She's the person you will sleep on the same bed with. Do you know that there are ladies that, because their man or their husbands were not treating them right, they connived with evil people to kill the man and took away with his properties and everything? So imagine that kind of thing. This is somebody, according to scriptures, that God took out from your rib and joined. Like, she cannot be a part of your life and you act like she's not important, because it's not possible. Both of you are supposed to be one. So when you're having conversations, when you're communicating as a couple, be sure to take her advice, take her opinions, and then act on those opinions. Act on them. It's very important. And then another thing is, in this communication thing, when your lady gives you her opinion and you don't act on it, and then, okay, no wahala, it's fine, no, 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, no problem. And then later something is happening with her own life, and then you come and say, okay, baby, I think you should do this way. She don't look at you like, no wahala. She will still do what she wants to do. You know why? Because I don't want to call it a payback, but why will I take heed to someone who does not do that for me or to me? It's not going to work. If you listen to me, see, this relationship thing is a two-way thing. Once you're on this beam, there's another person on this beam. If both of you are doing it together, it's going to be balanced. But if it's just like this, one will go down. So if she feels that you don't listen to her, then you want to come and start and say, oh, take this, do this, do this. She would also not listen to you. At the end, you now judge off and say, she's not submissive, she does not obey, she doesn't listen to me when I tell her what to do. But you don't also listen to her. Stop all this macho thing. Are you a bouncer? Rest. Understand the person that you are with, and then love them and listen to them, so that when you are telling her what to do in her own life or in any challenge or situation she finds herself, she'll say, okay, I will also listen to my partner because he also listens to me. So yes, these are the 3 points for the first part. And like I said, love correctly. Past experiences can cause her to not be able to submit to you. So understand where she's coming from and put her in the present and take her away from the past. And then communicate. When communicating, value each other's opinions and act on them. Thank you. If you're yet to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification, and do well to send us all your comments on what you've learned and even other points you think is a reason why a lady cannot submit. I love you all. Thank you for being a Real Talk fam, and bye.